to the Big Brother Recap Show season finale. Okay, enough of the dramatics. Yes, and let's shed the cape. All right, I'm ready to get into this. Okay, so I have a lot to talk about, including what happened yesterday. So much happened yesterday, not only on Big Brother, but of course, the situations over here. So, we're going to talk about all that. I'm going to give you the recap on who won $750,000 last night, who won $75,000, and who you, America, chose as your favorite house. All right. All Brother House in February. Well, not on the time limit, but there we go. There we go. I had to fix my camera a little bit. Before we get to this, I actually want to exit. And I want to pull up this thing right here. So we'll start with this. So yesterday we were supposed to have done a 2-hour countdown special, but I was sitting on my computer for 2 hours trying to get this live stream started. The internet was not working. My browser was not working. I don't know what it was. I had it all set up and I hit go live, and I literally, that entrance that you just saw was supposed to be yesterday. I stood at that door for like maybe 10 minutes waiting for this to start yesterday, and I was just like, screw it. So when I get set up for today, I'm thinking, okay, maybe I should have cleaned out the garbage that was on the computer, because you got to do that once in a while, otherwise your computer screws up. I don't know if that would have worked. Other people could have also been streaming yesterday. I don't know. Might have been a busy day. So other than that, I am very sorry that we could not do the countdown special. But I'll have plenty more countdown specials to come later on. We're going to kind of go through this presentation a little bit because there are still people I have to talk about, like the end of the season analysis. And thankfully, if you watched my last recap episode, I actually started with 8 people already, the first 8. So I'm going to do the second half today to save some time. If you want to hear what I have to say about the first 8 evicted houses, breeze through this real quick. Winner's crown. Okay. So once again, just so you know, Travis finished in 16th place. Oh. And you might see me stop at times because my connection is unstable, and a couple of times my presentation will get cut or chopped and some important information will be missed. So when I went in 15th place, Brent came in 14th. Whitney was Whitney was 13th. Brittany became the first juror. Derek X was evicted. Was juror number 3. And I think this is where we stopped. Yes, this is where we stopped. Sorry. I did have a card, and I don't think I have that card anymore. Let me see real quick. Oh, I do. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to pull up my kickoff special that we did back in July. And that way I can do the time stamps. Because I want to play you what I said at the beginning versus what I think of the person now. So let's start with Claire. Claire became juror number 4. And I'm going to fast forward to where I started talking about her. Perfect. Okay. Here's what I had to say about Claire. She is going to use her intelligence. She's going to try to cause disruptions. Okay, so she's going to be the feisty one. I don't know how that's going to work out, Claire. We'll see. She plans to build up relationships and fun facts. Okay, so that was Claire. Hold on. Connection is on. Okay, so that was Claire. I said she was going to be a feisty one. She was going to be mellow and then cutthroat at the very end. Claire, we didn't really get to see a lot of feisty in you. I think you only won one competition, if I'm correct. and nobody was really. You didn't have any confrontations with anybody, which was good. You were just real mellow, and that's a good thing, seeing you been more cutthroat like you said you were going to be. So, but I also do feel bad for Claire because she was evicted because the cookout was still trying to get to the final 6. So we had to get rid of Claire in the process. So, and she ended up becoming the first evictee on the first double eviction night. So I do think I was amazed to see how humble you were and how amazing you became. Let me see if I can turn on this light. I don't think it makes a difference. So good job to you, Claire. All right, Alyssa. Let me get Alyssa set up. Okay. So here's what I had to say about Alyssa at the beginning of the season. Alyssa plans to win the first head of household. Okay, see, that's where you screw up. You don't go in guns blazing. I know somebody's got to do it. Somebody's going to go in and try to win that HOH. No. She plans to align herself with powerful physical and mental players. So, but she wants to make a final 2 with somebody outside of that little bubble. So maybe she's onto something. I don't know. She wants to heavily rely on her social game. So looking at her picture, at Alyssa's picture, she's going to be a comp beast. And she's already made it very clear she's going in to win that first head of household. And yeah, good luck to you. We'll see how far she makes it. I personally see her only making it to jury. Yeah, vicious sneak thief. Yeah, I would say so. I think she definitely needs to rely on their social game. I think she's going to be passing information back and forth. She could be one that could start fights in that house. I think so. I think she's going to start fights in that house. So good luck to Alyssa. Okay. So what I also learned is that a lot of people were not really confrontational this year. Like, there might have been a few, but Alyssa actually surprised me. First off, she didn't go win that first HOH, which is why she got as far as she did. Frenchie, we saw a perfect example of Frenchie going to win that first HOH, and then he blows it that first week, and then second week he's evicted. So good job, Alyssa, for not winning that first HOH. And for not winning it, and then I think it was during, what week was it? I think it was me and Derek X around that time that they both got evicted was when Alyssa started winning comps. Or first, she was winning comps that were being handed the Zingbot competition. She actually won that fair and square. So, but as far as her personality, she was not feisty. She actually got along with a lot of people in that house. She played an honest game. I think she did a really good job. She really proved to me that she was a very nice woman. Like she knew how to play the game, and she surrounded herself with like everyone around the house. She went. I didn't see her talking a lot with Ozza though. I think she was the only one I didn't see talk game to. But she was very likable among everybody. So, and she was the final casualty of the cookout. So they her eviction was a lot more sentimental than it was going to be from the get-go, especially with Xavier, because Xavier really did not want Alyssa going home. But the cookout was about to make, and they had to do what they had to do. So congrats, Alyssa, for making it thus far. All right, next we have Tiffany. Good old Tiffany. Let's see where you're at. Okay, so here's what I had to say about Tiffany. Okay, here's what I had to say about Tiffany. Plans to learn about everybody and then just keep her mouth shut. She literally said that. I agree with Tiffany. I think if you're a good cook, Tiffany, you need to use that as an advantage. Just try to get a vibe from everybody. Just go check on everyone, kind of baby them a little bit, and that could help. I pray that she is not evicted before jury, because they like to do that a lot. They need a reason to evict somebody, and that would be Tiffany's reason to be evicted. So, fun fact. Yeah, I totally agree. I prayed that Tiffany would have not been the first one out or before jury. And she did. She really wasn't under anybody's radar during that time. I think it was once Hannah got put on the block the first time next to Whitney. That's when Tiffany woke up and said, "Oh, okay, I need to start." Now, Tiffany, she had a roller coaster of a ride, because at one point I liked her, and then at the next moment I hated her. But then before she got evicted, I started liking her again. I actually felt bad for her, and after her eviction, I realized that, oh, she really wasn't the villain that we were perceived as, that we were being fed. So at one point I liked her, and then I didn't like her, and then after she was evicted, I really felt for her. I really felt like she really was in the wrong, because she really did everything to get the alliance to the very end. I think what rubbed everybody the wrong way was when she won that HOH after Claire was evicted. Or no, it was the HOH that Claire was evicted. That was the one that rubbed everybody the wrong way, and I think that's why they sent her out first. And they were pushing for Kylan to get it. But what they didn't know was Kylan was this thing. Nobody saw it yet. So now where I stand with Tiffany, I feel for you, girl. Your eviction was done wrong. And honestly, Kylan made a dumb mistake for sending you out, because if you had not been sent out, Kylan would have still made it far. But because he got you and Hannah out, as far as your personality, you were the motherly figure, especially when it came to the cookout. You were keeping over every measure, and throughout it all. Oh, sorry. Connection's unstable. Give me one sec. Okay. Through it all, you made history. Congratulations, Tiffany. You were juror number 6, and you were the first evictee in the second double eviction. Hannah came in 5th place. Let us see what I had to say about Hannah. I have these in order too, so I don't have to go scatterbrains. Okay, here's what I had to say about Hannah. Around, because you'll get to that too. All right, here's Hannah. Build personal relationships. Learn about strengths and weaknesses. With every win, she will plan 2-3 weeks ahead. So she will not play this game week by week. She will start thinking, just like in chess, you're going to make 2-3 steps ahead. That's what she's going to do. She will not be afraid to bathe in blood, but secretly do it low-key. And she plans to lie about her occupation and career. All right, so I think Hannah is going to be the feisty one. I already feel it. She's going to turn into Vanessa, I think. She's going to could be a manipulator. We'll see how it goes, but I think she's going to be the feisty one. Oh, more fun facts for Hannah. Okay, I was totally wrong about Hannah. In fact, Hannah surprised me in a good way. She was a college student. I think she almost a graduate student, studying to be a doctor, I believe. But we found out on the finale that many people I had forgot lied about their occupations. So Hannah was one of them. She did pull a few strings. She was looking out for Tiffany and the rest of the cookout. You know, she had her pair with Derek X, but she started catching feelings for him, and that's what made it harder for her to evict him. So, as far as her personality, that was the big trait. Hannah actually was this really sweet girl that a lot of people felt for her, looked after her, made sure she was good. Um, and then she came into play once Sarah Beth started mentioning her name the first week she was nominated with Whitney. Sarah Beth didn't want Whitney to go home. She wanted Hannah out the door. So that's when Hannah came out to play and said, look, let's go. I'm ready to play. And she made it all the way. So halfway through the season, I was actually like pushing for Hannah to make it. And once double eviction night came out, or once Tiffany was getting ready to be sent out, I'm like, oh, great. Now Hannah is really going to have to start playing the game. So she came to play. The reason she got evicted was because of Kylan and Xavier having a secret deal to pull each other off the block during that double eviction, and Azah had no idea. So Hannah also got screwed too. So, but nevertheless, congratulations, Hannah, on all your success and making it to 5th place. You were almost there, girl. So, juror number 7. All right. Mr. Kylan doesn't know how to keep his mouth shut, but let's see what I'm curious to see what I said about Kylan at the very beginning. Okay. Let's see what I had to say about Kylan. He plans to combine Derek's moves with Cody's charm. We're talking about Derek and Cody from Big Brother 16. Yeah. And he plans to mix that up with Dan Giesling's thinking, his knowledge, his manipulation. Kylan plans to lay low on comps. Very good. Nope. Here's some fun facts. He has done 2. Okay. There's also something else I need to play too, because I said something more about him. Okay. There's something else I'm going to play too. Self-proclaimed Jedi, and I am a Star Wars fan myself, so I like this guy already. He he says he's a Jedi in training, and he says at any point he's going to use the Force to move stuff. And he works for an app. Wow, Kylan was really putting on a front for the cameras at the beginning of the game because he got me hooked, and he actually had me rooting for him at the beginning of the game. But then we get to meet the real Kylan later on in the game. It all started when Brittany got evicted. It was his second HOH. The eviction that didn't need to happen. I still don't know what Kylan's thought process was in evicting Brittany, but that rubbed me the wrong way. And from that moment, week 6, I strongly disliked Kylan. I didn't like him no more, and I wanted him to be evicted. But he went on and won more HOH competitions and vetoes and made it to 4th place. So when his time was running short the week of So when his time was running short on the week that Xavier won the final 4 HOH, it was nice to see Kylan sweat it out a little. Yes, his time is coming. So it was all a matter of time, getting ready to watch that eviction night. Let's see, it was September 23rd, so it was a week ago today. One of the most explosive evictions, and we talked about it on the last recap show as well. Kylan, when he got evicted, he went below the belt with Xavier in his comments, and that just proved how much more I dislike him. Kylan really had me fooled. He really had me hooked into believing he was a god when he's something else. I'll tell you. I'll leave it at that. Anyway, Kylan became juror number 8. And honestly, Kylan, you should have kept Tiffany because they legit had your back. They weren't talking smack behind you. They had your back. So, not that Kylan's going to see this, but hey, you never know. What's up? Okay, I put Derek next because I thought he would have been the 3rd person out, but that was not the case. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Let me pull up Derek's. Get to know everyone on personal levels and try to be good at being a leader. Now, okay, that's okay, but here, remember, if you try to be the leader, if you try to be the leader of any alliance in that house, when the alliance goes down, they go for the leader first. So please be careful, Derek. All right, all right. Frenchie was a good example of that. Down with their teams. Remember that. Write it down. Captains go down with their teams. Now, Derek became a favorite. He made great relationships with a lot of people in the house. But he went in knowing he felt he didn't owe anything to anybody, and vice versa. So, it was no problem for him to cut ties with people, but it was harder for him to cut ties with Azza when it came down to that last week inside the Big Brother house. I think I was pretty spot on about your personality. I was amazed to see how feisty you can get in these last 2 weeks. So, especially when it came down, he did not want to send Kylan home, but I'm sorry. He let Xavier manipulate him, and I liked it. So, all right, Azza. Here's what I had to say about Azza. To target power players. Very good. I like her ambition. She says, I like her determination. She does not want to be in a showmance, and she does not like seeing any showmances in that house. So she's going to be the one to split them up. So I hope for herself. Okay? Okay, so Azza basically did the opposite of what I told her not to do. For starters, she was not a comp beast at all. And once she had Xavier to herself in the last week or the last 2 weeks or so, she started getting cuddly with him. And I'm like, oh, Azza, you said you weren't going to get into any showmances, and here you are cuddling up next to Xavier. I think she might have did it, though, just to see if he would take her. Oh, sorry. I'm yawning, and I still have a long live stream to go. Azza was probably doing it just to see if X would take her to final 2. I think that's probably why she did it. But she ended up being the last person evicted. So, yeah, we'll see how that worked. She only had 1 comp win, by the way, and it was at the final 5. So, took a minute. And finally, Xavier. By the way, I'm working on getting a new mic. I actually have a new mic coming. Put it together and see if we need any add-on parts. So, we'll find out soon. Here's what I had to say about Xavier. Needs to. He plans to use his social skills to the best of his ability. He wants to separate personal matters when making game decisions. That's really good. That is visions. And adapt to any twists, which will be happening soon in the house. And they're going to be, as soon as they move in, they're going to be moving in 15 minutes. We'll see more of that on the Big Brother premiere. If not, we'll talk about it next week on the recap show. Fun fact. Okay. So I was right on the money with Xavier. He relied on his social game. He was talking with pretty much everyone, touching base with everyone. He put his personal matters aside and focused on the big pit to the final 6. First, sorry. Give me 1 second. The first alliance ever to make it to the end, to sacrifice anybody in their alliance. Did it really well. So, Okay. My prediction as to who I think America's favorite house guest would be. I picked Derek X because I felt for him when he got evicted, and a lot of people did on social media. So I wanted him to at least win something. If you have my Snapchat, I did post these on there. So I'm just gonna breeze through these real quick. This were my win percentages. Xavier had a better chance of winning against Ozza and Derek F. Ozza came in second. So okay. Now, before we move on, we're going to talk about the finale in just a minute. But first, I want to get this out of the way. I want to choose who I would like to see go into the Big Brother house in February when Celebrity Big Brother takes off. Man, I need an energy drink or something. Okay. First name I have on file is Mr. Chris Harrison. Chris Harrison is former host of The Bachelor, Bachelorette, Bachelor in Paradise, whole Bachelor Nation. He was recently let go this year. He's no longer the host of The Bachelor, all due to a controversy that happened at the beginning of this year. I'll make it real brief, but you can go online and figure it out for yourself. But there was a contestant on The Bachelor that had pictures on her Instagram where she was at an antebellum party. Again, I don't have time to research it at all, but I got bits and pieces, and antebellum has to do with something racial. And it's not very nice. It's not very good. And Chris Harrison was kind of, instead of like being it, or was getting backlash because he wasn't even like, he kind of pushed it to the side and was like, I don't want to deal with it. He took some time off, and then he just said, screw it. I'm just not. I've had a good run. I think it was since 2001, 2002, he's been the host. So he finally said, I'm done. I'm leaving the show for good. And started so much freaking controversy. So now that he's out and about roaming, now he has time on his hands. So Chris Harrison, hopefully you'll get put in the house. I hope he's one of the people I hope gets put in. Because I know a lot of these names that I come up with, I don't even think they're going to call these people, but I think Chris Harrison would be one of them. So, all right, next on my list is Nene Leakes, another person who was released from her show, The Real Housewives of Atlanta. She was, in a way, she was one of the people that carried the show. I think there's more people. I'm sorry. She's one of the people that carried the show, Real Housewives of Atlanta. I think Kenya Moore also carried the show as well. And I would have loved to see her go in the house, but she is a very busy woman, and I do not think she will have the time, especially she's on Dancing with the Stars right now. I'm not sure if she would want to be going to Celebrity Big Brother. And she also has a child too, so she is busy being a full-time mom, having to do Real Housewives. I just don't see her having time to go into the house. But we'll find somebody. Don't worry. Trust me, Kenya, you would go crazy in that house. So just don't even answer the call. Now, Nene Leakes, I think we would love to see her get crazy because we've seen her get crazy. Anyway, she was released last year, or she quit the show last year. So now I would like to see Nene kind of go into the Big Brother house and bring the feistiness. And, I think she's got potential. If she gets in, she could win some comps. I think her social game would be on point, though. She would be a gossip queen. So, speaking of gossip queen, I have another gossip queen on this list. So we'll talk about that later. But next up, let's talk about Brother likes to pull at least one housewife for their roster. Season 1 was Brandi Glanville, and season 2 was Kandi Burruss. So that's why I think Nene would be a good candidate. Also, too, another cast member, I think, was Cynthia Bailey, was just quit the show this month. So Cynthia Bailey could be another candidate as well. So, all right. Now, Also, Big Brother likes to pull in musicians, and judging by the last 2 seasons of Celebrity Big Brother, they pulled musicians from the 90s. My first thought was, okay, boy bands. Who from what boy band will be free and are starting to make music again? So, what was that? Oh, I have water. Let me drink some water real quick. All right. I just drank some water real quick. So, I've noticed a lot of boy bands. I don't think any boy band person is going to be eligible. I think they will all be busy in 2022. So, but that sucks because I would have picked somebody. But I still have somebody up my sleeve that I would love to go in the house, and that's Miss Alanis Morissette, who I like to call my godmother because I've listened to music. And if you have not listened to Alanis Morissette, please go right now after the show, YouTube it, Jagged Little Pill, Apple Music or Spotify. Just please listen to Alanis Morissette. Like, her music, it does something to you. So anyway, Alanis Morissette, she just came out with an album last year, Such Pretty Forks in the Road. Loved it. Loved that album. One of my favorites from last year. I don't think she's going on tour. She just had a child, I think last year. Yeah, I think she gave birth to another. She has like two or three kids. I think it was two. But I think she would be fitting to go into that house. We need someone to be the. Now remember, Big Brother, this season of Big Brother is only going to be 30 days, so won't be too long. So, Alanis, I would love to see you go into the house. Please, please, please. By the way, this was from her New Year's Eve performance, Times Square. That was a great night. They didn't show it on my TV channel because they decided to show fireworks from Sacramento. This was pre-20. One sec, my connection's unstable. Okay, next up, I pick. Okay, so now sports people. The only area of sports I'm kind of familiar with is football. And when I think of football, clearly nobody now is going to be free. You have to think about people who are probably retired now. So in that case, I choose Brett Favre. Let me pull up some facts because I know he's a Green Bay. He used to play Green Bay Packers. He's won some Super Bowls. I'm hoping breakthrough star of the 90s. Yes, he played in the NFL for 20 seasons, 321 consecutive starts from 1992 to 2010, including 297 regular season games. I'm trying to think. He's a Hall of Famer, 11-time Pro Bowl player. I don't know how many Super Bowls he's won though. He started back in 1992 with the Packers and then moved to the Jets in 2008 and finished off with the Vikings in 2009, where he finally decided to retire. He's like one of the OG football players I know, and he's had quite a career. I think he would dominate in the competitions in Big Brother. However, if he does go in, I do see him becoming one of the first targets. So, but I would still like to see what Brett Favre has to bring to the table. So, all right, next up I have Booker T. Booker T, a wrestler. I want to get these stats right, but I believe what I saw was 6-time champion, 6-time WWE champion. Sorry, sorry, my voice cracked right now. Started wrestling in 1989. Shoot. Come on, give me some stats. Okay. Yeah, 6-time champion. 2-time Hall of Famer. Yes. So, 6-time champion, 6-time wrestling champion, 2-time WWE Hall of Famer. So, Booker T has lived, let me tell you. I think he would be perfect to go into the house. See what he would dominate in the competitions as well. We'll see how his social game would be, So I picked wrestling because season 2 we picked a wrestler from WWE, but I didn't know who she was. And it was Natalie Eva Marie. So could pick another wrestler, but I see it being someone who's not doing it now. So I would pick Booker T. All right. So another part, we also like to pick Olympians. Season 2 featured many Olympians. We had 2. Lolo Jones and Ryan Lochte both went into the Celebrity Big Brother house. So when it came time to think of an Olympian to go in season 3, I picked none other than Michael Phelps. He's won medals, especially from Beijing and London. I'm pretty sure he was at the London Olympics, but primarily Beijing was his breakthrough performance. So I see Michael Phelps going into the house. He's also had his battles with addictions, and he's actually still, he's still recovering, and he's actually reaching out to people who are facing addictions themselves. So starting to become a role model again, and I see him being perfect for Celebrity Big Brother, trying to send a message out to all of us, because a lot of people like to use Big Brother to have a platform. I see him doing that. So Michael Phelps would be a good candidate. I would have also said some other girls, but I don't know if they'd be eligible. Gabby Douglas, I don't know if I think she's still kind of young. I don't even know if she hit 21 yet, to be honest. Because when she went to 2012 Olympics, she was only in her teens. Maybe she's older now. If that's the case, I would pick Gabby Douglas or Simone Biles. I know Simone Biles has been in the news recently. She'd be a good candidate too, but I don't know if they would pick her. So that's why they're not on my list. So, all right, now we're also looking at comedians. Going off of season 2 of Celebrity Big Brother, we had Tom Green, well-known comedian from the 90s. So here are a couple other comedians as well. Janine Garofalo, I think, had her start on SNL before going to stand-up comedy and being in some select films, Mystery Men being one of them. So I would love to see her go into the house. She's not doing anything right now, so start talking to her. Get her info and let's start talking. Judy Tenuta. I've come across some of her stand-up shows, and she's pretty funny. She was a panelist on Match Game 98. And she's just been taking her stand-up. She's got her own stand-up tours. I don't know if she's still doing them right now, but if she's not, please get Judy Tenuta for Celebrity Big Brother season 3. David Cross. I've seen some of his stand-ups. I know him from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I think he's still taking a stand-up on the road here and there. But I think he'd be a good candidate too. I see his social game being pretty good. I think he would have an amazing social game. So let's be in talks with David Cross. Okay. Bill Burr. This is a long shot, but I'm gonna throw his name out there. Bill Burr. He's also a stand-up comedian. He has hosted Saturday Night Live before. I don't know, to each his own. And I know him from The Mandalorian, so that's why I wanted him on this list. I don't know if they'll pick him, but we'll see. I think there's some other comedians who would probably get it before him. Judging out there. Okay. One sec. Waiting for my connection. Hold on. Okay, going back to Gossip Queens, Mr. Perez Hilton. If you were someone who grew up in the 2000s in the MySpace era and following like blogging and stuff, you might have heard of this guy. He is known for telling it like it is. It's the male version of Wendy Williams, let me tell you, because he will say whatever he wants. I think he would be a great candidate for Celebrity Big Brother. What is up with my connection? I'm halfway done. Just give me a little bit. Okay, here we go. Fun fact, Perez actually did the UK version of Celebrity Big Brother. I don't think he made it very far, but he still gave us some good TV. So, yeah, let's see how. I feel he could be a threat one coming up, but there is one name that has been thrown around for the last couple times, and people have been dying to see this person go into the Celebrity Big Brother house. Will the third time be? Will 3 times the charm? Will it be? Well, let's find out. The person I'm talking about is Tiffany New York Pollard, just known as New York from Flavor of Love. Sorry. Connection is unstable again. Celebrity Big Brother in the UK as well, and she made 4th. I actually started binge watching the one with Heidi and Spencer Fireworks. I would love to see her do that in the US. So when it came the first time around for Celebrity Big Brother, her name was being thrown around a lot. And so when she didn't get put in season 1, season 2, we did it again. We put her name, and she actually had to make a video saying, "I'm sorry, I'm not going to be on Celebrity Big Brother." So I am pretty shame again until we get her in the house, because we really want her to go into that house and play the game, because this is going to be different. This is not going to be like the UK. You're going to have to actually play competitions and be social. Yeah, this is going to have to force her, because Tiffany is not one to beg. She will not beg for mercy at all. She will not have to kiss your booty. You will have to kiss her booty. But this is going to force her to kind of break out of that mold. So I would love to see that happen, but I don't know if she'll take the bait. So connection unstable again. Okay. We're getting to the highlights. We're about to get to the highlights right now. So I think that's the last one. Night PowerPoint. So now we are finally going to get into. So those are my Celebrity Big Brother predictions. Remember, Celebrity Big Brother will be back in February. Stay tuned at the beginning of the year as I start giving you updates as to who could be going in the house. I think I'm going to take a drink of water real quick so I can get ready for this. Okay. All right. Now, before we can look ahead, we got to look back. So let us finally get into last night's season finale of Big Brother 23. But first, let's take one last look at this beautifully put together memory wall. It's the last time we're going to see all these 16 faces light up on the computer screen. And once the connection is done being unstable, we can move on. So, for the last time, take one last look at all these 16 people. All right. So, we went from 16, and then there were only 3. Here were the Xavier. So, let's dip into the highlights. We're not going to do the spoiler board because there's not really much spoilers left. So, we're just going to dive right in. Is best of 3. So, you have to win 2 competitions to make it to the end. I'm actually going to pull something up while my connection is choosing to be unstable yet again. I think I'm going to have to go on YouTube and find it. Or, sorry, Facebook. Okay, I'm just getting something ready to go real quick. Okay, just getting ready. It probably was. Okay, here we go. So it was 2 out of 3. You had to win in order to become the final head of household. So part 1 winner goes to Xavier, my man. All right, so he immediately goes to part 3 of the competition. Um, let's see who won part 2. Azza wins part 2 of the HOH competition. But before we get to part 3, we need to have a chat with these two because in the days leading up to the finale, these two seem to be butting heads. These two friends who have been together, two peas in a pod since day 1. And now Derek was putting the pressure on Azza to have her take him to the finale if she wins the final HOH. So this did not sit well with Azza, especially with the fact that Derek kept saying, I carried you to the end. And that totally rubbed Azza the wrong way. Because first off, none of you carried each other. You guys didn't even win comps. So for you guys to say that you either made the Cookout Alliance or you carried somebody, it blew my mind. And the jury definitely had a lot to say about that when it came to discussing the final 3. So yeah, Derek should have remembered that you need to make sure you're good with people, especially if they're gonna win the HOH and not you. So anyway, oh dang it, I wasn't supposed to show you that. It was supposed to be a drum roll. The final HOH of the season is Xavier. Congratulations, Xavier. So now that means the final here we go. The final nominees of the season are Azza and Derek. So let us see who Xavier chose. Now, Xavier is guaranteed at least $75,000. So this decision right here would determine if he gets $75,000 or $750,000. Let's see who he chose to evict. Miss Azza. After all that cuddling up and, persuading, X still sent you home. So for the last time, let's send someone's picture to gray. There we go. By a vote of 1-0, Azza is the final person evicted from the Big Brother house. And now let's move that out of the way and make way for our last jury member, Azza. All right, ladies and gentlemen, the jury is now complete. We have all 9 members, which means it is time to assemble the jury. Now, the jury's questions were really good. They asked some really tough questions to both Xavier and Derek about their strongest moves and why they think Shay should win $750,000. So Xavier, I already knew was going to smoke Derek X in that. So also that night, everyone revealed their secrets to one another. Xavier finally announced to everybody that he was a lawyer, which a lot of people had their thoughts. They called it during the season. Derek F announced that he is Joe Frazier's son. He didn't tell anybody that. And then Brittany, I should have put a little spot for Brittany, but she explained her autism to the cast. She kept it under wraps so she would feel as if her competitions and everything was that autism did not affect her competitive aspects and just her personality and all that. She wanted to show that autism doesn't stop anybody. So I thank you for that, Brittany, and really give some love to Brittany D'Angelo, please. Give her a shout out and, tell her good job on making it into the Big Brother house and using it to kind of promote autism, that it can happen to anybody and you wouldn't even know until you tell them yourself. So here we go. The final two make their pleas. Derek actually brought up some points. He reiterated the fact that he didn't win any competitions, but he relied solely on his social game. So he basically tried to Dr. Will it. But of course, no one can do Dr. Will except Dr. Will Kirby. If you don't know who I'm talking about, go on YouTube after the show, type in Dr. Will Kirby, Big Brother, and you'll see how astonishing his gameplay is. So, all right, it's time to vote. So, let's see, do I get to... Okay, so everybody goes and casts their votes one at a time. And then we get to we look back at some of the highlights of the season. So now it's time for the final results. So, I'm going to play you a little soundbite. Audio clips are courtesy of CBS, so these are not my own. But I'm going to play you some of the results. I will give you the rest of the results, but these are the final moments before the winner is announced. So here we go.
Brittany has cast her vote for Xavier.
Hold on. Sorry about the audio. I don't know what was going on with the mic, but Derek votes for Xavier. Brittany voted for Xavier. Here's my girl, Sarah Beth.
Sarah Beth's vote also to Xavier to win Big Brother.
Sarah Beth votes for Xavier.
3 votes for Xavier. Claire's vote goes to Xavier. 4 votes for Xavier. And Alyssa's vote goes to... Congratulations, Xavier!
So yeah, it takes 5 votes to win Big Brother, and this was where he got Xavier gets his 5th vote. But let's see how the rest of the votes fall. Tiffany casts her vote for Xavier. Hannah casts her vote for Xavier. Kylan casts his vote for Xavier. And Aza casts her vote for Xavier. So, drum roll please. The winner of Big Brother 23 is Mr. Xavier. Congratulations, my dude. Oh, man. Since day one, I said you were going to be the winner. You were going to win it all. So, by a vote of 9-0, Xavier won Big Brother. Now, let me go back to the Big Brother kickoff show, because I'm here telling you that I picked Xavier on day 1, and I have video proof that says that I picked Xavier. So let's go back and hear. I'll play you that little footage, and you will hear me say Xavier's name. And it's also funny, too, because I almost changed my pick. After Frenchie won HOH. But I'm thinking... But then I started watching a few days later, and I was like, no, I'm sticking to Xavier. I'm sorry. So here's what I said. Okay. So we have met all the house guests. So my picks. And one girl will hear straight up. For the guys, I have a toss-up between Frenchie and Xavier. Frenchie, because he is a super fan, and so super fans know the ins and outs of the game, but you have to adapt to the twist, because you think you know Big Brother, but then they give you the twist of the season, and it throws you for a loop. You have to rethink your strategy. Okay, and then Xavier. I said he was an attorney, which means you got to know how to persuade the courts, the jury, all that. Yeah. Or anybody, any law firm or whatever. I think attorney has to do with court or something. I don't know. I still don't freaking know. So his social skills seem pretty good. So I'm going to have to pick... I think I'm going to have to pick Xavier on this one, to be honest. There you go. There's your video proof right there. I said Xavier on the kickoff show, and look where he is. He is now in the books. He is the winner of Big Brother. He'll forever go down in history. The first African-American person in general to win the main Big Brother game. Now, Tamar Braxton won Celebrity Big Brother Season 2, making her the first African-American person to win any Big Brother. So, but this is the guy right here. He survived 85 days in the Big Brother house, and he did it. So he is $750,000 richer. So congratulations to you, man. I really am so proud of you. I've been a fan of you since day one, and look how far you've come. So now there's still one more spoiler to reveal, and that is America's favorite house guest. Now, we all went online and voted, or we texted on who our favorite house guest of the season was. This person is going to win a $50,000 bonus. So the top two vote getters were Tiffany and Derek X. And this season's favorite house guest is Tiffany. There you go. The leader of the cookout. I don't care what Derek F says. I think he was in talks, but Tiffany also put it in motion. Like Tiffany was like the mediator of the group. So congratulations, Tiffany. You win $50,000. I'm so proud, and thank you for some great TV. I'm gonna do something real quick. I'm putting together something real quick. Don't worry. Whoops. Okay. Well, that is it, guys. That was the last spoiler of the season. Well, it's been a great season, guys. I really enjoyed putting together this little weekly recap show. I had been thinking about it since 2019, and to finally put it into play this year was remarkable. And so thank you to all who watched. It was really fun. I had some nights where I vented a little bit, and that's what Big Brother does to me. So I'm so happy I did this, and I can't wait to do another season of the recap show. So, but we shouldn't be sad because we only have to wait 4 more months for the next season of Big Brother, because we will be coming back this winter for season 2 of the Big Brother recap show. So that is it, guys. So that is it for the recap. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you for joining me every week all summer. Hopefully next year COVID will not affect my recap schedule. I do plan to make it through the whole season. Now, Celebrity Big Brother, the schedule is going to be very different because we're only going to get 30 days, and the evictions come like every 2 or 3 days. So we're going to get the schedule probably in January, and I'll start mapping out what I'm going to do. So just be on the lookout for that. Make sure to like and subscribe to my channel for any notifications on new videos coming up. I will say Nick Picks for the Week is coming back on October 8th. And sometime before the 8th, I'm going to post a video of my 50 greatest songs from this summer. The ones that I listened to this summer. We will be doing that special very soon. I'm going to film it as soon as I get a chance. You can email me at nickmorales2012@gmail.com, or, well, actually, there's no point in the Snapchat now. It's just email now. So, again, email nickmorales2012@gmail.com. So, thank you guys so much for watching, and again, have a great holiday season. I'll see you in February.